What's going on Facebook? What's going on YouTube? How y'all doing, man? Hopefully y'all having a good 2025 so far. This is the fourth day of 2025. All I can say is I'm blessed. I'm still doing my thing. I'm back podcasting for you guys and for YouTube. Like I say, I appreciate anybody and everybody that had showed support for 2024. Let's go ahead and show some support for 2025 as well. Cause I got a lot of good guests that's gonna be coming in. And so far I got Miss Sheila from somebody else. And what's up? Is okay. No, she ain't on there yet. I thought I seen somebody on there. Y'all also share the Facebook Live if y'all find anything and everything that's gonna be interesting in this today's live podcast. We got a lovely woman here, she go by Sheila Blackwell. So before I go ahead and stir her over here and she let y'all know who she is. Let me get a couple words before I, go ahead and, go through with the podcast. So this podcast episode is really we're gonna be like bouncing back on a natural tip, you know what I'm saying? It ain't to where I did like my other episodes where I have everything scripted and stuff like that, how I'm gonna say the questions and the topics and stuff like that. We're gonna go naturally with it because pretty much this whole like episode is gonna be about her book and what was in her book as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all get some insights of who Sheila Blackwell is, and I'm gonna let her take the show over. So let them know who you is, Miss
Hello,
Sheila.
everyone, and thanks for joining us. I'm so happy, D Wheels, to be on your podcast,
I
and I thank
I
you.
appreciate you.
Thank
Thanks for
you.
taking the time to come on
Oh,
in the building.
yeah. And my name is Sheila D. Blackwell. I'm a first, um, I'm a new art author. I've written my first book, If My Tears Had a Voice, What Would They Say? And it's about sexual abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, spiritual brokenness. I experienced this as a child.
Mm,
Experienced sexual abuse by a family member from the age of 3 to 14.
wow.
So that's where the spiritual brokenness came from.
What's going on, Quay?
I had no self esteem, no self love, everything was broken in me. But God is good.
Yes, he is. He is.
And he used to whisper in my spirit, "You are special. You are unique. You are great." Did I feel it? No. Did I see it? No. But that sparked up something in my spirit, and it's called hope. So I had hope. And God took them broken pieces. He didn't put the broken pieces back together. What he did was mold and shape them for me to be greater. And so that's what I'm going to talk about is my book. It's available on Amazon, and I give you the information for ordering later.
Yep. I'm gonna put the also below this whole entire like when I edit the podcast stuff like that, I'm gonna also put her intro of the whole entire
Okay.
book and stuff like that. And I'm gonna put also some information about I'm ask Sheila about, saying where can I put the information that I may have the link to Amazon to where they can just how you go on Amazon and it'll
Yes.
show like the exact link where you can get it at on Amazon. So yeah, Jenny said, is it on Kindle Unlimited as well, or just on Amazon?
Um, I ordered through Kindle, but that's a good question. So since I ordered through them, I think it is.
Well, we'll find out. I was gonna
Yeah.
also tell you too, Sheila. Is it any other sites they can get the book off, or just Amazon, or is it, or you thinking about like in the
To be
future putting
honest,
more?
my book has only been published for over a month.
Okay,
So I'm new
what's
at
up, Dre?
this.
Right.
I'm new at this. So in future, I hope to have it like maybe in Noble. you know, or some other stores. But for now, it's
Just
just
Amazon.
Amazon.
Okay. So what I want to touch on is pretty much like give us like on each description of the book. So you see how you had said, let me see the book so far. So let me see. It says sexual abuse. So before we get like in depth into the book, give us like some, you know, things that you got in the book that's talking about the depression or the sexual abuse or the addiction or the brokenness and the suicidal. Um, so we're gonna start off by talking about the sexual abuse. What like some of the sexual abuse some of the people that may order your book will kind of like see inside the book.
Well, like I said, it started from 3 years old to 14. Um, and it was by a family member. But that strips your identity away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh huh.
So I was very shy. I, you know, but as I got older, I stopped it at 14,
Okay. So when did it started? Like what age?
3 years old,
3 years old. Wow.
a baby. But I stopped it at 14. I physically attacked my abuser.
Mm.
I what's that? They say it's a thin line between sane and insanity.
Uh huh.
I crossed over to insanity, and I just attacked them.
Attacked them. What age you attacked them? Like
14.
14. Give us like a story time if you don't mind. Like where y'all was at? When was
Well,
it? Did was he?
well, I was. He happened to live in the same house,
Okay.
and it was on the weekend, a Saturday, and he was telling me to clean up.
Uh huh.
I had got to the point that I didn't even want to hear his voice. So he wasn't even trying to have sex with me.
Right. So he was just
It's
telling you to
the
clean
fact
up.
that he said something to me
Uh huh.
and I snapped.
Right.
I said, I'm not doing nothing. So at that point, I remember him walking towards me and I just stopped right. So all he could do was just hold me down. But I had got tired of it. And I hated it.
That's a strong word, Sheila. That's opposite of love. You sure you hated him?
I was 14 now.
Well, you was a little young, so
You know,
yeah, you ain't have
I
much like
hated him. I'm gonna be honest.
at
That's
your
where I
age. Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
I hated him. I hated hearing his voice. I hated seeing him. But like I said, we lived in the same
And I
house.
was gonna say this too. So it was to where like he stayed in the same house. Was he in the house all the time,
No,
or was it just
he had a
sometimes?
job. No, he lived there.
Okay.
He would go to work, do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, Actually, the sexual abuse stopped around 12,
Okay.
13, 12, 13. But any room that he came in, I went in another room.
Cause you was kind of like I don't want to
I
go in
I
that
just
room.
didn't want to be around him.
So let me say what Jen said. Jen said it's hard for our young minds to recognize it's even abuse when it starts at a young age. Eventually, we learn that. Hey, Jen, make we okay. So you know how you had said eventually we learned that we say the rest because it say see more on the comment section, and I'm gonna read your comment as Sheila continues. So it was just pretty much like you just didn't want to get in the room. You just like I don't want to be close to him.
Well,
Did you ever lock the door? Like, you know,
you know, I like I
or
said, it happened at 3 years old.
right?
So I thought it was normal until I went over to cousin's house and
And they
stuff like that,
uh-huh,
and I seen that everything was different.
a whole different
So
environment,
when I got to be like 7 or 8 years
and
old,
your mind is
it's
cognitively
it's,
learning
it's
is
learning. Oh, this is wrong. You know what I'm saying? So that's when the anger set up. That's when I start hating them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I forgave him. He passed. But I was in my 30s and he was at the hospital basically dying.
So Jen said, "We are not the problem. We were groomed by someone we should have been able to trust."
Right.
I definitely
Right.
agree.
Right. It was an uncle. It was my father's
And you know what?
brother.
It's crazy because I done heard it always be somebody uncle. I
Yeah.
I was just talking to a couple women, um you know, went over there, talked to them and stuff like that, and they kind of talked about like abuse and and I'd be shocked, like that's crazy to me. It's taboo, because because I never been around that type of stuff in my
Right.
environment. I grew up with peace and I've been sheltered. I've been somewhat spoiled, but I knew once I got over the age, I knew what to do and what not to do. I don't know nothing about like you know people raping people or people like it ain't in my nature because I ain't grow off of it. But when I be hearing other women saying stuff about that, I'd be like, what? And she said the same thing. She was like, well, my uncle used to, you
Yeah.
know, and and what it is I guess her mom used to leave her with her uncle, and she'd be thinking the whole time her uncle was watching her.
Mm.
So yeah,
And
it's
it's
crazy.
generational. It runs in generations. It's called generational hurt.
Yeah.
Because it happened to him, I found out, when he was a kid. So it was passed from generation to generation. And I'm sure that it happened further down the line. And it was just passed on. You're either going to do two things. Either you're going to be a sexual abuser or you're going to be an advocate against it.
'Cause I was gonna say like since he experienced it, right? You saying? So
Oh, yeah.
how did he experience? He had like another man doing it or another? I
That
mean, I know
part
no
I
woman
don't
ain't gonna do
know.
that. Okay.
Like I was saying, he was in the hospital and he was dying. And he was in Detroit.
What's up, Lauren? What's up, cuz? Right, right. Jen also said, our stories are already so similar. I'm a bit shook. My bad, Jen. Shook. Right.
Yes. And unfortunately, it happens more than you want to admit because I grew up in the house where what goes on in this house
Stays
stays in
and
this
that's
house.
really old school. New school, it's not like that no more. Like,
No, no, no. So, my auntie had called me and say, Johnny's dying. You need to come up and see him. And I was saying, I ain't going up to see his
and you
ass.
was about like 30 at the
I
time.
was in my 30s.
Okay.
And so, I ain't going up there to see him. I ain't studying him. Let him die. That's how I felt. I'm being honest. Until God spoke to me.
What did he say?
God said, you gotta go. And I was arguing back and forth with him. I don't want to go. I ain't going. The Holy Spirit whooped me so bad that I had to go. I said, okay. So I got there. I had to pray all the way into the hospital. I first went to the waiting room. And I was praying in my mind, God, you got to do the rest of the steps because I can't do it. And I got to the his door and I looked. And he was hooked up to all these machines.
Yeah.
And I said, God, you're gonna have to walk with me a little further. So I started singing the Lord's Prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Before I knew it, I was by his side. And I said, I forgive you.
Yeah, I was just about to get to that because it's like he didn't, he didn't know what to do. So it's kind of like
Well,
when
that's
people,
when God revealed to me.
and that's what it is because it ain't his fault he went through it for it to happen to you, and
Right.
some stuff you have to forgive because.
Well, God told me that it was for me, not for him.
Oh, okay. What's up, Chris Brown?
Because you're not supposed to have hatred in your heart.
Which is hard not to have.
And so God knew I had to be released from that. So once
I
I said, I forgive you, God revealed to me It happened to him. He was a child. Then I went from I'm sorry whoever hurted you. I'm sorry. Then I said I love you. And it was like 100 pounds was lifted off my
How can you?
shoulders.
How what?
God,
Uh,
God, I said God sent me in there and he knew I needed that. And he gave me deliverance.
Okay.
That hatred left. That
Mm.
anger
And you
left.
and you did say like I hate you in the beginning. Once you
Yes.
like have a flashback of everything, you said I hate you, I hate you. And what's up, Kendrick? What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yes. So God orchestrated that.
Got you. Okay.
He knew I needed that to be here.
Kendrick had the praying hands, so he viewing it. Uh, what's up, Lauren?
Yeah. So, as far as addiction, I was addicted to crack cocaine.
Okay.
But I was hurt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The memories, I had both my sons. I had 2 sons.
Uh-huh.
But we get that postpartum depression.
Yeah, and that's like when you like
Well, all the memories of my childhood came up, and I tried so hard to push them down. I didn't want to remember them.
mm-hmm.
I put up a wall over that period of my life because it was painful.
Right.
And I didn't want to remember. But they were coming up. So I used the drugs to numb
it,
me.
yeah. And I was just telling other people about like the drugs and stuff like that. The drugs gonna only just be there. It's like people need to like stop using drugs and stuff like that because it's temporary. Like you know what I'm saying? It's like
But it
medicine.
ain't the drugs that's your problem. It's that hurt person
Right.
that's the problem. Once you heal that hurt person,
Yeah.
you don't need the drug. You don't need the alcohol. So that's just like the first step, admitting you got a problem.
Right. So how long was you addicted to the crack cocaine and all that? Like
Over 10 years. I went to probably 5 different treatment centers. The last time I went, it was for me. I didn't
right.
go the first time for me. It
Oh.
was for my kids. It was for family. It was for this. It was for that.
And how many sons you got? I mean, daughters, sons.
I had 2 boys.
Just 2 boys.
My oldest son died in 2022. So that's when losing your parent is one thing.
Yeah.
To lose a child, that's a whole new ball game. And so that's where
What's up, Billy?
Spiritual brokenness came from the loss of different relatives or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, the crack addiction, that's how my kids knew was a crack mother.
Hold
I
on.
started.
Hey Lauren. Hey Lauren, you hear us? Yeah. Hey, what's up, Bethany? Mute your what's the name right quick, Lauren? You can't hear. She can't hear it.
You can't hear what?
I don't know if she better hear the live or. So you can hear us, Lauren? You Lauren. She probably forgot to press. She probably pressed the button and got up on. It's okay. Okay, so she had unmuted. So do everybody hear us? That's on live. That's viewing. By the way, on Facebook, y'all just put like some ones or something if y'all can still hear us. And you can stick and you can stick and watch too, Lauren. But in the next 5 minutes, I may have to get off so I can get like a whole. She said, "How embarrassed?" No, you okay? Because she was talking about like my podcast stuff like that. Even though you ain't know, it's cool because it also shows like what people be saying behind the scenes about somebody. Like, oh, he
Oh,
doing
okay.
this like it's like a radio show. Okay, y'all can hear. Okay, cool. 5 viewers. But yeah, you can stick in, Lauren. But I may have you excused to be on live. So I can see like my full what's the name in the next 5 minutes. Um, so yeah, other than that, I do want you to still stay tuned. 'Cause I think she's at work, so
Okay.
she's probably watching it while she's at work, and she one of the ones that wanted to be tagged in and to hear. 'Cause I
Yeah.
got certain people that want to be tagged in certain podcast episodes, stuff like that. So
Yes.
anyway, back to your son. So you said your son passed away in 2022, and what happened after that? So you had said losing a child is different from losing a parent, and then
Yeah. Well, um, my son passed away June 13th, 20.
and would you mind telling the
Yeah.
viewers how he passed?
It was my birthday week.
What?
And my birthday was June 6th on a Monday.
What the heck? What's up, Denise?
And
Edmund?
I didn't have anything planned. And so I said, well, God, I'm looking for an awesome birthday present for you. I want you to treat me for my birthday. So my youngest son called, wished me happy birthday, my grandkids.
Uh
And
huh.
then Tori called, that's his name.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, Mom, guess where I'm at? I said, where you at? He said, I'm up at Port Austin or Port Huron
Mm-hmm. And there's
off
look,
of Lake.
look, like up there, and that's like a little bit above, like and it's like somewhere right by the Upper Peninsula or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was he doing there?
He had got an Airbnb and he was off the lake, I think Lake Superior.
Okay, so was he doing something for his birthday?
No.
My bad. That was around your birthday.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, his friend,
What's up, Kelly?
which is a female,
Uh huh.
had got the
They got an Airbnb.
for them.
Was they together, or they were just taking a trip to just have some fun from your own like knowledge of it?
My son was a little of a player.
Okay, he a player like me. No, I'm playing. Well, all right. So go ahead.
But so he called me Monday. He said, "My happy birthday. Guess where I'm at?" I said, "Well, I'm at this Airbnb. It's got a hot tub outside, a game room. We can fish."
What's up, Jay Sean?
And he said, "I'm gonna ask my friend, can you come up for your birthday?"
Uh huh.
And I said, "Okay." So he called me back within 10 minutes and said, "Yeah, Mom, she said you could come." Well, I didn't go that day. They just got there.
Right.
So I wanted them to enjoy themselves.
Uh huh.
So I went up there Tuesday, and they were supposed to have it only until Wednesday, the next day. And so the young lady was noticing that me and my son was enjoying each other so good.
Uh huh.
She was a traveling nurse, so she had to leave and go to Detroit.
Yeah.
She said, "Would y'all like to stay here till Friday?" And me and my son looked at each other. I said, "Yes." And that's what we did.
Right.
Like I said, I was addicted to crack.
Right.
My kids knew a crack mom.
Mm-hmm.
So my son was kind of like an introvert. He didn't talk about his feelings. He didn't discuss his business. He was very hush hush on that.
Mm-hmm.
So I never got to talk to him about what my addiction did to him. But that trip, he brought it up. And we talked about it, and we got healing and forgiveness and deliverance.
So on that day, y'all talked about it. That's a reason. Go ahead though.
It,
Go ahead.
see, you following it.
I'm already. Go ahead.
You following it. So we left that Friday. Oh, we fished. We did a lot of stuff. Pac-Man. I love Pac-Man, but we played that. So he left with me Friday because he had came up there with the young lady.
Mm-hmm.
But we both lived in Saginaw.
Right.
So I dropped him off at his house Friday. Went home. Saturday, I got this overwhelming feeling of sadness. And I cried all day Saturday.
It just came out the blue.
I mean, I was broken.
But you just had a good time, you know?
That's
Like
what I was thinking. I said, Lord, what is this feeling about? Because I just had, you gave me an awesome birthday.
Right.
Birthday that I'll never forget. Why am I sad? Sunday it got worse. I cried all day Sunday. Finally, Sunday I said, you preparing me for something. Whatever it is, give me strength. Monday morning I got to call my son back.
And you know what? I be thinking about the same thing too. Like this, just like life in general. Like it be certain things, but God knows. You know what I'm saying? God knows it. He knows everything in existence that's gonna be here on this earth. What the life is gonna take, the purpose is gonna be.
It.
But
But he granted me the last 4 days to see my son alive.
And you know what? It's certain things that you may not know, but it's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like it's certain stuff that happens before it happens. It's
I'm a type of person that when I get a certain feeling, I know something's gonna happen. That's why I said, God, whatever it is, give me strength. So if my tears had a voice, what would they say? That's what it's about. The hurt, the pain, the trials, the tribulations that I had to go through. Those are the tears I cry.
about your mom passing. So go ahead and continue.
Well, that's going into how I was able to handle my son's death.
Okay.
When my mom passed, she died of breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was on a Thursday. And
hold on, Cat answering. What's up, Cat?
And that Thursday night, I used to rock as a little girl. That was my safety net.
Uh-huh.
Of all the things I was going through. So I used to rock myself to sleep. Well, I rocked that night my mom passed for the first time in years.
So like you mean like rocking like this?
I did this. Rock myself to sleep. And so Friday morning about 8, a cousin, now I'm in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin called from West Memphis, Arkansas, and said, I'm sorry about Aunt Helen, but that's not the only reason I called. And I said, well, why? What else? She said, God told me to call you to tell you that was some rocking. So I went back to that little girl
mm-hmm.
who was going through all that trauma. That was God holding, rocking. So when my son passed,
in 22, yep.
That Monday, he died at home. So
how did he pass away, by the way, your son?
He died in his sleep.
Okay.
So it was out the blue.
Mm-hmm.
So I stayed there until the petty wagon came and got him. You know, I went home and I called my youngest son and I said, I don't want anyone to come to my house. I don't want phone calls. I took very few. A couple people came over.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to lie in God's arms because I said, God, you rocked me when my mother passed. I need you to rock me from this moment to the next moment to the next moment till today. Still rock. So after 5 days, not having anyone really coming over and stuff, I got peace in my heart. God says He's with me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, ain't that our ultimate
Man,
goal?
that's
They
yeah.
teach us to live your best life, live like you're supposed to.
Right.
And then you go up to God. How could I be mad at that?
You can't. I mean, you
So
know.
That's what gave me peace.
Got you. Yeah, I get it.
So But I told him, I said, God, use me, even in my brokenness, to help other parents or anybody just going through, period.
And I want to talk about like that too. Like, what's some ways you can kind of like, what's some ways you could tell anybody that's viewing or anybody that's going to view this episode on my YouTube or even if they going through certain stuff that's similar to what you going through for the next generation, what's ways you would consider someone to like break cycles of like trauma? Like what is some ways to help numb and like take away certain traumas from like their life without using drugs, you know, and
Well,
all that
see,
stuff.
all of us is wired different.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, what one person, the road they go down, don't necessarily mean another person gonna take that same road. My problem was what goes on in this house stays in this house, and you come in and saying it ain't like that no more.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the first step. Tell someone. And the other thing is, but they got to believe you. I told someone, but they called me a lie.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't believe me. They have to have someone they could trust.
And they gotta be able to believe you, because because you could be young and you could be like, hey, this was going on, and they like,
if you tell an adult and they say you lying,
yeah, yeah,
that's gonna break your spirit, especially your caregiver.
mm-hmm.
If they don't believe what you're saying, who do you tell then? So,
What if they got like a pastor or something like that? Like they go to church and they got like a pastor.
well, I was gonna say the child got to trust the person.
Okay.
And that's through a friendship, you know. And do tell and keep telling until someone hears your voice, hear your cry out.
Or what they can do, some people can get like more like technical, because I'm the type of person, I like to have my proof. Like if I'm saying something that's going on, I'm gonna have my proof some way or another. And I'm a videographer. So let's say like somebody was messing with me in a sexual way that I ain't want them to. Shoot, I hide a camera. Real talk, I hide a camera somewhere.
But if you 3 years old, how do you
Oh,
know to
right.
do that?
Right.
It happened to me at age 3. And depending, some people don't experience it until they're a teenager, or some don't experience.
Or if they experience it as a teenager, they can do, what I'm saying, they can have like a little hidden camera. Cause I'm all about proof. Like with me, what's up, Lynn? Like with me, I'm more like, all right.
But if you in the family, you might not afford that.
Or what if you tell somebody like, hey, I'm going through, what I'm saying, a little, sexual abuse, and you can be on some sneaky stuff. You could just be like, you stay in this room, or you stay in this closet. Like just to make them see it.
Let me tell you, perpetrators are very smart. They're gonna make sure you at the house by yourself. They very smart. My uncle used to give my brother money to go to the store to get him some ice cream.
Okay, I get it. I get
You
it.
know
I
what
get it.
I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
And then you might be in a household that y'all barely can buy food. Where you gonna get cameras and
Right.
set up equipment?
Right.
But it
And Jen
just
also
come by. But
said,
see, I'm gonna tell you something. That's why it's important for the community to come together.
mm-hmm.
I know some programs that go to school, have these conversations and let kids know that there's help available. They got a hotline
Mm-hmm.
that you could call. and they will believe you and help you in a situation
So the
like
first,
that.
so first thing first is pretty much first thing
Awareness.
first. Be aware. They gotta at least believe you. Have somebody believe you and what's going on to have that broken, thing that's going on. Like and Jen said, she said, could you imagine a child react if you suggested you needed proof? And then Jen said, I was the child no one believed. And
Yep.
yep. I was the child no one believed. We need to know someone is there. Yeah. So that's first thing first. What's some other
Well, programs, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying,
right?
with the technology and the different things, the resources that we have, they go to elementary schools, they
Mhm.
go to junior high schools, high school, and have conversation to let the child know,
What's up, Kate Marie?
especially women who've been sexually abused. They're the ones that start these programs.
That's true because they've been through it.
They've been through it. So they want to give the child an out to let them know.
And they know for sure, like, since they've been through it, it's a difference when you start something
Let
and
me
you've
tell
been through
you
it and you're not.
something. Every parent should know their child,
True.
their mannerism, how they carry themselves. If your child been an outgoing child, and then one day their whole emotions done change, they cut up, they be in their room by themselves. They don't want to be bothered. There's sadness in their eyes. You know your child.
You know something is going on. What's up,
You
Tomas?
know something is going on because their behavior, trust
Change,
me,
yeah.
it's gonna change. But a lot of parents got closed eyes. They do.
Or they ain't even taking the time to even get to know their child. Like,
Well, it could be their boyfriend doing it. To keep that man, they ain't gonna see that.
it's see, with me growing up, it's taboo. So and that's why I like to hear people's other side, and I'm like, whoa, you went through that, and I'm also learning a well round of life too. And it's kind of like, man, but like a lot of people that went through that, it's cool because when you see them, let's say they got through it, and you will see them like a whole different person. You'd be like, so you went through that? It makes them a stronger person, though.
Oh, but without a doubt it does. Without a doubt, you have strength that you didn't know you have. I didn't know I had as much power and strength when the day I attacked my attacker.
Right. Potential. That's what it's called, potential. Yep.
You know, I didn't know. So I gained, and like I said, I went to the drug. That was my Band-Aid. And my smile. I always smile.
So tell me about like the phases you went through, and what made you like get out of the drugs to, move forward from it.
I got tired of being packed. I did. I got tired of existing and not living. I got tired of being shut up in a room, getting high, and letting the world go by. They say you got to reach your pit of hell before you want to change. I reached my pit of hell.
What's up, Lauren? Thanks for joining back in.
So, yeah, I got tired of being tired.
And it's been 10 years.
No, I was addicted
for 10 years.
I've been clean now for over 20-something years, 25, 26 years. Thank you.
Clap on that.
So, but that's God, and I gotta say this. God designed and He created us. When you ready God has a door open for your healing, for your deliverance. Like he told me I had to go to the hospital. Not for my uncle, for me.
Some of the viewers clapping too. Jay Sean said
Thank
facts.
you.
Lauren,
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank
Jay
you.
Sean, they say congrats.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And you got to have God in your life. You know, when after my 5th treatment center and I decided to go for myself,
Mm-hmm.
they have you after the treatment to go to meetings, AA meetings, NA meetings. I went to them, and you had to get up and say, "My name is Sheila Blackwell.
Yeah.
I'm a recovering addict." That didn't set with me.
Why
I
haven't
did.
it?
I
Like,
did receive that statement. When you go to the hospital and you have surgery,
mm-hmm.
you recover.
Right.
So I'm supposed to say for the next 10, 12 years I'm recovering.
I mean, you should want to. You should want to be
Let me
like.
tell you different. I fell on my knees at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
calling on God, telling him to take that taste away from me. Because when I knew I was getting money, I would get sick. I would fiend for the drug.
Mm-hmm.
I needed him to take that away, and he did.
That's amazing.
He
That's
took
amazing.
it away. I ain't go to now another meeting, none of that, because God delivered me. It's a difference in recovering.
Right.
That means there's something
It's still something.
wrong, wrong in you.
It's still wrong in you, but you got to get it.
But and they was some people would get up. I've been going to meetings for 15 years. I had a problem with that.
Right. Right. Right.
You still recovering? You not healed? You go God's way, you're gonna be healed, delivered, and set free.
That's amazing.
I forget sometimes that I was even a crack addict, until I tell my story.
Right.
And they said, "Well, you don't even look like."
And that's what I'm about to get to. Like
you went through crack.
But it's
because God healed me.
and
He
that's
took it away.
and that's a good source to have to let people know like what you done went through. It shows your strength. It shows what you went through, and especially because everybody know how it looks. But like when somebody say that, that's a good.
When you recovering, you still walking in it as an addict. So
Exactly.
You still look like an addict. You act like an addict.
And some people.
That's why I had a problem with it.
And some people they don't recover, and that's the big thing. They don't get through it. And
look, the worst thing they could have told me is after 15 years, this guy got up, said his name, and he was recovering. He said after 15 years, he went back to crack.
See,
that's
some people that is a
with
problem.
me.
Some people do like go through it, they get off of it, and they get back to it. And that's why, like with me, I feel like you know how it could be weed or it could be like any little drug people use or something like that. My opinion, if you trying to like really stop doing what you want to do, or you trying to make a New Year's resolution to stop, because a lot of people they be like, well, my New Year's resolution, I'm finna stop smoking cigarettes, or I'm finna stop smoking weed, or I'm finna stop drinking. My thing is this though: start off by being with people that don't do that, and because if you be around people that does that, they're gonna keep on. They're gonna keep hindering you.
You got to want it more than you want that.
But I believe.
Rock,
it's
bottle.
Right.
You got to want it like you wanted that, because that gives you determination.
Mm-hmm.
You got to have God. God removed that from me. When I say He delivered me, in the Bible it say He throws your past in the sea of forgiveness and remembers it no more. So do you. You don't remember it no more. So that's why I had a problem with that state.
Wow.
So, but yeah, he cleaned me up. He gave me the desire. My visions come back. my gifts, my talent. I had goals. I had visions as a child. In my book, If My Tears Had a Voice, I'm 67. If God can make my dreams and vision a reality, there's hope for you too. You know? So, and how I got this
I was just
started.
about to say that. Yeah. Tell everybody how you had started the book and stuff like that, and
If my tears had a voice, what would they say? I was living in Chicago with my mom at the time, and I was going to college, Kennedy King in Chicago, and I was taking psychology.
the human mind, psychology.
And yes,
Hmm.
and my professor asked us to get up and share a moment of feelings or something we went through. Can't remember exactly, but one of my classmates got up.
Hmm.
She said 3 or 4 words
And it
and
kind of
broke
broke.
down.
Yeah.
And my professor looked at her and said, "If your tears had a voice, what would they say?" That hit me like a ton of brick. It went all through my spirit, and I said, "Wow."
How
Now
old was you?
that's
How old was you at the time?
ooh 30s, 40s.
30s, 40s. Because you was in college. So what age you went to college for psychology?
Well, once I got off of drugs, I was in my 30s.
Okay. And then you just
So
stumbled and went to
once
college.
God healed me from all that, restored my mind,
Uh huh.
I went back to college.
Got you.
Got a degree. I wanted to do family counseling
Uh huh.
for sexual abuse, drugs, but I wanted to help families.
Uh huh.
So I wanted a degree in psychology, and I got my master's.
Okay, now go ahead and continue with the.
So I couldn't wait till school ended. I ran home, got on the computer, and typed this
Type that whole
poem
little. Did you type in like
with
the
it.
actual what he said first, or would you just like let me just go in?
Yeah, I put the title. If my tears had a voice, what would they say?
Got you.
And I played my video
Mm-hmm.
from when I was a little girl getting sexual abuse, going through all these things right here.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote that poem within 20 minutes.
Mm.
And if y'all don't mind, I want to read it to you
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
because it. If my tears had a voice, what would they say? That I cried deeply down from the inside out, from that child who remains inside with a pout. That my struggles are because of my hurt and pain, that I'm crying from the nightmares that live in vain, that I'm out of control, buried in strife, instead of God guiding and controlling my life. If my tears had a voice, what would they say? That I walk around in a daze full of shame, blame, and defeat? That society says there's no hope or place for me? That no matter how much I reach out, no one can see that I can be what I see inside of me? If my tears had a voice, what would they say? That my children are lost just as much as me? That they forgive being lonely and disappointed in me? That I cry for them to be set totally free? That they can be whatever's in their heart for them to be? That when they look in the mirror, they don't see me? If my tears had a voice, what would they say? That I stumble and fall more than others along the way? That the more I try to change, the more it seems like I'm trapped in a cage? That I want to be special and beautiful indeed, like that voice who whispering. inside of me. If you look closer past the person first see, I'm not as hopeless as I appear to be. You cried and prayed for this day, that someone would help to show me the way.
Wow. Well, you got me want to get the book for real now. Like, and you know what? The thing about it is, it's kind of like I love poems. I love rhymes because rhymes it makes it more exciting to like know what you're finna say next, and it makes sense. And just by you reading that, I already know for sure. Like all of this is your life. Like it ain't just
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
It all came in within you.
Yes.
And Jen said, "I cannot wait to order." She's also a bookworm.
Oh, wow.
She loved reading books.
Thank you, Jen.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yep. And she also
Thank you.
she been on previous podcast episodes too. She's really good with words. She's probably good with poems and poetry and stuff like that too. We never talked more in depth about poems and poetry, but yeah.
I started writing when I was 9 and
that's a blessing.
10 years
And
old.
a lot of people always want to be a good writer. That's one thing about me. I'm not a good writer. I wasn't good with punctuation and stuff like that. I'm good with like metaphors and analogies, and I'm a good illustrator. So let's say, I don't know, we was make a book together. I'll be good with drawing like if you had like you're crying and stuff like that, you crying the tears, I can have like, the hands like this and the tears, and you got your knees off. Right. So yeah. But
I was showing him the tears.
The tears. Yep.
They end up being rivers. I've cried a lot of tears throughout my journey. But I wouldn't be who I am without my journey.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's when you look back and be
that's
like,
how you can touch other people. That's how you can help other people. I call this book God's book. I'm just a vessel.
And he's putting it, exactly. And he using you.
Yes. Yes. So, but I wrote this poem in 2007 or 8. I didn't start the book till 2012.
Yep.
So that's when God said, that's a book. And I started writing.
And would you mind like reading the back of it, the book?
But
the back of the book really? By the way, I'm gonna be putting like any information on where to get the book down below, or I may put it somewhere in the video when I edit on YouTube. If anything, hey, y'all go ahead and add her at Sheila Blackwell on.
I'm on Facebook.
She's on what else social media you on, by the way? They can like see you on just Facebook?
I think I'm shared on Instagram.
What's your Instagram name? You remember?
But see, I didn't set it up.
Oh, you didn't set it up.
It coalition with
your Facebook?
Facebook.
Got you. Yeah, and that's how.
And it shares what I share on Facebook.
See, that's why I kind of stopped doing that. I'm on my 3rd Facebook. I done got hacked like 2 times. So I kind of keep my Facebook separate to my Instagram because I got mad. I lost all my Instagram followers along with my Facebook people. Yeah. So yeah.
But I'm on Facebook, Sheila Blackwell. It's carbon copies out there. So send me a friend request. And and I'll answer it. Because like I said, someone
you got
hacked me.
Yeah.
And sent friend requests. But the thing about those hackers, they only got like 3, 4, 5 friends.
Yeah, they do.
I got thousands of friends.
Right. Yeah.
They don't have pictures.
Mm-hmm. They only got like one little picture.
One little picture, usually the same one if it's 3 or 4 times. So it's ways to recognize them.
Yeah.
But if you send me a friend request, I would definitely answer.
Say something and be like, hey, this is me for real.
The book is all over my page, my story. I do reels. So yeah. But I'm gonna give him the order number when he put it up
Yeah.
on how to order the book off of Amazon.
I might put it in this video, or I may put it. I figure it out where I'm gonna put everything, or I may put it in the What's up, Ashley? And a lot of people want to view. Not everybody want to view every time we finna close out the podcast. But no, what I'm gonna do when I get done editing the video and stuff like that, I'm gonna also let you know once I edit the video and stuff like
Okay.
that. It may be a week in advance. It may be a week, but I'm gonna try my best to get to it fast as I can, because I got other stuff I gotta do too outside of my podcast stuff and then all that, because I do everything. I podcast, I shoot my videos, I all this equipment you see right here, I bought, I set everything up, I edit, I direct, I act, entertain. I'm like a whole one-man army doing this. So you know what I'm saying, a lot of people be like, when you gonna drop the video, when you gonna drop the video? I'm like, hey, I'm only doing one thing. Now if I had like an editor, but at the same time, I like the way I edit too. So sometimes being a one-man army ain't that bad, because I can do my own edits. I can go how I want to do it. I can remove everything I want to
And
remove.
that's good to know.
Yeah, I'm a
Because
one-man
maybe
army.
you can do a video for me, a book about my book.
You never know.
different
You never know.
pictures.
Yes. And we can,
Whenever. I'm not in a rush.
yeah.
But
And I want to do movies in the future too. I can see me doing movies.
Excuse me.
I can see me having actors, stuff like that, and and I want to be the one that's gonna edit the movie as well. So yeah, like I said, y'all, make sure y'all look at the previous podcast episodes. By the way, y'all check out episode 24 with my boy T West. We had a blast doing the episode. Make sure y'all look at the other previous episode 23, 22, 21. Y'all go ahead and get y'all some popcorn. And real deal, check out all my podcast episodes so far. This is my evolution, by the way. This is my starting point. I'm just trying to push forward and keep it going. You know what I'm saying? So all y'all, like right now, that's viewing and showing support, I appreciate all y'all.
I can give them the order number. I do know that.
Okay.
So if you go on Amazon, I do have the order number. The number is 979 833 889 0561.
Okay.
That's the order number, and my book will pop up.
Okay. So if y'all heard that, we gonna put it. I'm gonna put it somewhere in the live or the videos and stuff like that. So y'all can also go ahead and look at the live, by the way, and y'all can see what she said with the numbers. That's the order number. It's already out on Amazon. $20. How many pages does the book have?
Well, it has 10 chapters.
Okay.
It's not that many. It ain't counting them. But maybe 105, 106.
That's not bad.
That's not
Especially
bad at
with
all.
some good poems and y'all go get that book, man. So yeah, y'all order the book. If My Tears Had a Voice, what would they say? By Sheila D. Blackwell. Y'all already hear from my podcast as well, D Will's podcast. So y'all already know it's official. Only bring the best of the best on my
Thank you.
podcast.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you for
And
coming
I
in.
appreciate you.
Yeah.
Let me say this. You're a young man who's doing awesome things. And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of what you're doing.
Even though we just like met, she was from a cousin of hers that told her about me. And I was just like, well, what's her name? You know what I'm saying? Let me see what she about. And she told me what's everything all about. I mean, we just clicked and we just like, well, let's do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And thank God I met you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yes,
I'm a big supporter of yours.
I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you for coming.
And thank y'all.
So y'all like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. D Will ENT. That's where y'all can find me on YouTube. Facebook is DeQuaylen Williams. Y'all go ahead and add me on Facebook. And y'all go ahead and check out my stories and stuff as well, because I put all my little insight stuff on my story, all my little behind the scenes and stuff like that. If y'all want to see what's on my story before we even do the podcast episodes. So y'all check it out. Y'all also, if y'all want to get on the show, the panel, podcast, my platform, whatever y'all want to call it, y'all hit me up, man. I appreciate y'all. Y'all share, like the video. I'ma see y'all in the next episode. Y'all order the book. We're gonna have, I'm gonna put the order number and stuff like that somewhere in the video. And y'all make sure y'all look at the actual YouTube video of this too. Y'all share, tell a friend about it that it went through abuse, depression, addiction, suicidal thoughts, or brokenness. Cause I'm pretty sure they probably want to hear some story about this in some sort, and the fact that, somebody getting out of it, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
congrats for you getting out of it. Like you done went through some stuff, and look at you now. You're looking good, and God is good.
He's real good.
So I'll see y'all in the next one.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all. See y'all on the next episode of D Woods Podcast, and we out.